I'm Megan Kiffmeyer. I'm currently on City Council and running for the next 4 years. I have lived in Kimball since about 2007. I've got a husband and 2 boys at home. They currently go to the elementary school. My husband has been on the fire department for about 11 years. We've both been very active in the community, which I think is key to getting to know people and learning more about how the city operates and everything. I was on the Kimball Days Committee for a number of years. I currently am on Friends of the Library and also serving as the Chamber Secretary. It's a nice way for me to get to know some of the business owners and work with them since I'm not in town during the day to interact with them as much as some other people around here. It's been very interesting being on City Council for the last 2 years. There's been a lot of things that I've learned, a lot of things I'm still learning, but it's been a good experience, and I hope to continue.
Good evening. I'm Kyle Christensen. I'm not a politician. I worked as a carpenter out of high school. We moved to the Kimball area in 1982, raised 4 kids. Now I have 9 grandkids, 4 of which are in the Kimball School District. In 2010, I moved right into Kimball, built a new house in Kimball, and have been there since. So about 7 years, 8 years. So I love this community, and it's done well by me, and I look at my kids and what it's done for them, and I think I have an opportunity here to give back a little bit. So when I saw the 2 openings for council, I thought, this was a good opportunity for me to do that. So I have a little bit of a unique background, not like most people, I think, that can offer some good things for the council, the community, the people of the community, the business owners. Having been in construction since 79, right out of high school, and then a building inspector and working with local governments for over 25 years, many different jurisdictions, and seeing development and being a part of it with planning and zoning and engineering and a lot of those things which a lot of people don't have experience with. I think I offer some good things for the city council in order to help the city grow.
Okay, here's from the St. Cloud Times. They have asked questions of the candidates. Cindy Stelten has been a licensed child care provider for 45 years. She has also been a CPR first aid instructor and adjusted instructor at the St. Cloud Technical and Community College. Married for 46 years with 5 children and 13 grandchildren. Stelten has experience in the city council. She was served as a council member in 1996, ran for mayor in 1998. She won and served as mayor for 4 years until 2002. Aaron Dahlinger, age 31, EMT for Center Care. Married with 1 13-year-old daughter. He's an incumbent and he has served 1 4-year term on the council. His biggest accomplishment, I guess, community promotion would probably be his biggest attribute to have contributed as a city council member. Question 1. What are your short-term and long-term goals for the city of Kimball?
Short term for this year, we still need to finish up the budget. We did get the prelim numbers in end of August, early part of September. Also working on communications. We started a Facebook page but haven't actually launched it yet, but I would like to see that happen just for another way to engage with the community. Some long-term goals would be definitely working on growth. There's a lot of potential and ways that we can help the community grow. One being trying to get this library put up. It's going to be a good thing for the community, and hopefully that spurs up more interest in our town and gets people to come here.
Short-term goals, maybe at a little bit of a disadvantage, not knowing where the council is at in terms of what the city's needs are and which direction they're going on things, but to maybe present a new voice on things, new look. Short-term goals, get to know the people, get to know the community more, get to know the business owners. It's not my goals, it's what the city's goals are, it's what the people's goals are, it's what the business owners' goals are. And what do they see for the future of Kimball? And how can the city, how can the council, how can we help them achieve those goals? That's where I would put my focus.
With the importance of economics today, how much priority will you give the city budget plan? Kyle.
Well, I think we all know that money seems to revolve around everything. A little story about myself. Having been through the 80s in construction when interest rates were 18%, and I spent more time looking for a job than I did working. Sometimes not knowing, where our next meal was coming from. Every penny counted every day. I've never been a spender, I'm a saver, very frugal. But I know at times too that you have to step forward and you have to take that leap and you have to make an investment if it's a good one. But it has to be based on sound data and research, not on my personal feelings. What the community wants and how they want to spend the money, the business owners, what's good for the community, what's good for the people of Kimball. That's what I believe.
The budget is definitely a huge part of being on council. If I make a stupid purchase in my personal finances, I have to explain it to my husband. If we make a stupid purchase as a council, we have to explain it to everybody. So you have to make good choices, knowing full well that you have to be able to explain yourself and have good reasons for spending money on the things that we do. We have to hold ourselves accountable too for the spending. One thing that I suggested and we've been working on is setting up a capital improvement plan. When I first got on council, it was, okay, it's this year's budget and this year's budget. It wasn't, okay, let's look ahead 5 years, let's look ahead 10 years, and figure out what we can start setting aside so we don't have a huge budget one year and kind of offset it over the course of several years instead.
How will you work with our school and surrounding communities to continue to make Kimball an important part of central Minnesota?
Well, one of the things I've actually done recently, I reached out to Tom Schreiner after a council meeting and said, we should really set up a joint meeting. We haven't met jointly with the school board since I've been on the council, and I think that's key to the success of both the city and the school. We're two groups touching a lot of people in this community that should really sit down and share resources with each other. So that is going to be a big thing. And that way we can also identify the areas that we can both improve on and see what we can do to help each other.
Working with our school. Our school is the most important entity, building that we have in the community. I love listening to the school board candidates and their vision and what they had to say. My kids all graduated from this school district, and now I have 4 grandchildren here, and this school means a lot to me. And if there's anything more important than our school, I don't know what it would be for this community. It's what really makes the community thrive. It's what we all identify with. And there's nothing more important than our schools. So we got to connect with the schools, the teachers, the superintendent, the school board, whoever it is that's involved, athletic director, it doesn't matter. what are their needs, how can we help, how can we make this a better community, and the school's a big part of that.
What are your goals to attract, retain businesses and families to our city?
Well, a little bit of my own personal belief here. I think this is just an absolute wonderful community. How can we spread? We got to spread the word. We got to get the word out. You know, I just can't think of a better place to live, to raise your family, for your kids to go to school than Kimball. It's got so many good things to offer. It's got some good businesses. I love a smaller school. Having been part of a bigger school in South Minneapolis, and where I grew up until my dad relocated to Grove City, Minnesota, and I finished high school in a small school. I really know the value of the small community where your child is not just a number. They are really somebody important in the school district. They mean a lot to the teachers. And I just see such value in living in a community like this. From a business standpoint, we've got to look at, you know, how can we attract new businesses? You know, what can we offer them? We have to make sure that we have available infrastructure and property and things in place. We have to look at our zoning regulations, our planning, our development. All those things are key to getting businesses here. And if we're not looking at that, we're maybe missing something. So I want to look at everything. You know, when I want to help spread the word, I think I'm a good advocate for the city of Kimball because I've lived it. My kids have lived it, and I think I have a lot to offer. Thank you.
I also grew up in a bigger school district, and it's nice to see the smaller class sizes and everything here, which I think is definitely an attraction for families. Again, I think the new library can also help get some people into our community. It would be nice if we would start looking at doing some kind of economic development group. I know there's a lot of other communities who have started them. It's not something that we've done, but I think we should also talk with those communities and see what kind of successes they've had, what kind of challenges, and you know, see what information we can get from them to help our own community grow also. It's one of those things, we've got the space to grow. It's just a matter of trying to figure out what is it going to take to get people into the residential districts, into some of the commercial property that's available, and then also looking at the future, which direction do we go if we start annexing from Main Prairie Township. It's a lot that we need to actually sit down and talk about and figure out how can we keep the small town feel but still grow to our full potential.
Any questions from the floor? Okay, if not, we'll move in then to the summary. We'll change our distance of time, as long as we have time, to 2.5 minutes.
Well, I think since there's only 2 candidates, we should get more than 2.5 minutes, but you can have more. No, anyway, I'm not here because I have a passion for politics. In fact, I'm not much for politics. I'm here because I have a passion for the city of Kimball. I want to help. I want to do what I can to make things better. Not to say that they're bad. I think there's room for improvement on a lot of things. And I think that I bring a new voice, a new look, and a lot of good ideas about development and how we can attract businesses. I've worked with city government for 25 years. I have a good feel for city government. I understand how they work, how they operate, how they think. And I think I have a lot of things to share with the city of Kimball and how we can help make this community grow the right way. So, looking forward for your vote. Thank you.
I've always enjoyed being part of helping change and seeing things progress. And that's one of the things that I have enjoyed as on city council in the time that I've been in it. I would like to see more things happen, and it's fun and exciting to be part of the change and see progress. Hopefully we're able to continue to do that, and I want to actually thank Kyle for running. You know, when I ran last time, I had nobody else running. It was just me and I think Cheryl for 3 open seats, whereas this time we've got 2 open seats and 4 candidates, and I think that's a great thing that we're finally getting a few more people involved. So thanks for coming out tonight, and hopefully everyone votes in November.
I'm going to read the responses from the 2 other candidates out of the St. Cloud Times. The final question they were asked, why should people vote for you? Aaron's response is, my past 4 years, I believe I have proven myself to be a beneficial council member for the city of Kimball. Serving with the city benefits in mind and also the city's patrons in mind to always uphold the best interest and truly help out for the greater good. Dahlinger said, my mentality moving forward isn't going to change. Cindy Stelten's response to that question, I think I'm a good go-getter. I have accomplished a lot in my years as a person in this community. I'm very community-oriented. I love my community. I feel that people would have a voice, that they would come to me and then would be heard. That concludes the portion of the city. Truly want to thank the 2 of you for being here this evening and answering. The state candidates, let me explain to you some of the issues we have with this. Originally, our schedule was to have state candidates here at 6:45. However, a number of the candidates were also going to be last night at a Meet the Candidate night in Avon. Suddenly, Avon moved the candidate meeting over there to tonight. So then it became the issue of some of the candidates wanting to be both places. We talked a little bit back and forth, and the decision was that we would let the candidates go to Avon at the 7 o'clock, and then they would be over here for 8:45. So I'm hoping that all of you will stick around until 8:45. I apologize from the standpoint of not having the candidates here yet, but my intention was that I think we needed to have this with them, and the only way to have this happen was to wait out and look for a 8:45 start. So some of the candidates may be coming in. We'll let them have a little time at the table, and we'll wait until 8:45. So again, coffee and cookies are available, so Steve doesn't have so many to take back to his workers tomorrow. Thank you.